In this video, we're going to cover two things. The first is relative referencing when we are talking about drawing lines to particular lengths, and then we're also going to talk about object snaps. So the relative references are a departure from using the snap and grid. We're going to move beyond that now. So when we go to the line command, we are going to be able to draw wherever we want. And what we want to be able to do is draw a line at a particular length. So for instance, if I wanted to draw a horizontal line, I could type in at 2, 0. And what that gives me is a line that's 2 units long and 0 units tall. Let me try one more. So at 2, 1, the breakdown here is the at symbol followed by the delta x with positive being to the right, comma, and then the delta y with positive being up. So this one's going to draw a line that goes from my current spot, which is right here, to the right 2 units and up 1 unit. And what we can do is make use of these commands to then move around and draw our different objects. So to demonstrate that, I'm going to draw this leftmost chunk of my front view. So I'm going to pan over a little bit, go back to line by hitting L, pick a point anywhere I want, do an at 1, 0, at 0, 4, at -1, 0, and then C to close. And I'm going to also show you guys the distance command, so DIST. It just lets you measure from one spot to the next. Now the problem is I don't pick right on those spots, so this brings up a good time to introduce object snaps. So if we go back to our drafting settings, you'll see I don't have snap and grid turned on, but there's a object snap tab. And what this will allow me to do when I turn them on is to have my cursor go to these particular features. So the endpoint, midpoint, center, intersection, extension, insertion, and perpendicular. These are pretty common ones. So let me show you how this works. So I have these turned on and these options are checked. And now when I'm going to draw a line or use the distance command, go back to DIST, and I get close to this particular spot, you can see a little shape pop up. That one's actually the perpendicular, and then this one's the end point, so it picks up one or the other there. And it tells me that it is exactly 4 units there. Let me make sure I typed that in correctly, or picked that up. So there's the end point, and there's the end point, so that's 4 units. So if I wanted to go back to the line now, I could use the end point, and now I can just continue. So at 1, 0, at 0, 1, at 1, 0, at 0, -1, at 2, 0, and then just use object snap to come back here to the endpoint and hit escape. So what we're going to start working on now is using combinations of these object snaps as well as the relative references there to draw lines based on a delta x and a delta y.